This is me. I'm 5'4". That means I'm a lot shorter than the average human and a lot shorter than the average human male here in the UK. So when Andoer said they'd send over their Viltrox field monitor, I was in the middle of actually designing an overhead rig, and it's one of the main things and one of the main concerns I had was that I could not see the camera field monitor because it was too tall and I was too short. So I thought I'd make this video about making that overhead camera rig and with Andoer's Viltrox field monitor and make a little review about it. So hey guys, my name is Ryan Thomas with Failtech, and this is the field monitor review, link in the video description. Affordable, that is the first word. It is incredibly affordable for a field monitor. Now, to those of you who look at this from an outsider's perspective, you might see that it's quite expensive, but for those of you like me who are really into cameras and filming and cinematography gear, this is incredibly affordable. Now, when I say affordable, I mean £85 to £90 as opposed to Small HD's budget offering, which is £450. And I'm not joking, Small HD makes some incredible field monitors, but they're incredibly expensive, and Andoer have made this one that's more accessible to people like me. Now, when we go over the specs, it's a 5-inch panel, which okay doesn't seem huge, but it's a lot bigger than the 3-inch panel. It's almost double the size of a standard monitor that comes with a camera. But it's not very high resolution. It's 800 by 480, which to a lot of you may seem absolutely ludicrous and definitely not enough resolution. But when you're just checking your framing, which is what I mainly use this thing for, it's absolutely perfect. It's a TN panel, which means that colours don't really look good out of the box, and in fact they don't look good overall. But the best thing about it is that you can use it for framing. I have a very nice looking OLED to the right of my display, which is part of the GH4, which works just fine for looking for colours and such, but when I want to see what's in focus and I want to see peaking and I want to see what's in frame, I check the field monitor, which is so much easier, and especially when you're doing a top-down rig, you really need to see what's in focus. So it has DC in, HDMI in, AV in, and it's powered over USB, which is awesome. However, it does bypass the actual switch on the side. So if you've got it plugged into a power bank, let's say, or a USB wall wart, even if you keep the position of the switch in off, it will stay on. Not sure why, but it's just one of those features. And actually, power over USB is something that I really am glad that I found eventually. It actually took me a while to find, but when I found it, I was really happy about it. It also comes with HDMI out and headphones out, which is really useful for monitoring audio. It comes with, in the box, a cold shoe mount, a micro HDMI cable, a mini HDMI cable, a hood which is really useful for outside viewing, especially when it gets really bright because it can cover over it, and it comes with the monitor itself. So how useful can this thing be? Well, actually it's built very well. Yes, it's made of plastic and it's not as thin as maybe I'd like, but it seems to be built like a tank. Now, I use elastic bands or rubber bands pretty much everywhere in my setup, so using it to connect this to the overhead camera rig works perfectly, and I can also rubber band the power bank on the side as well. It's just great. Now, it doesn't come with a battery, which is something I was really concerned about. However, when my friend Callum noticed that there's a USB port on the bottom, I thought maybe it's to update firmware, maybe it's to connect to the camera, but no, you can connect it to a power bank that you might use with a mobile device or something like that, and it works just fine, which I'm really glad about. The cables that it comes with are pretty short, which means that you can't really connect it to a long distance, but that's pretty easy because they're digital cables being HDMI, so you can just get extenders with pretty much no problem. However, my use case, which is mainly in this overhead camera rig, means that it doesn't really have to be so far away, but it doesn't have to be so close, so this kind of cable distance doesn't really affect me, although it does affect me when I'm trying to shoot A-roll and it's far away and I'm trying to look and yeah, stuff like that. Also, it's low resolution, which like I alluded to earlier, doesn't really make a huge difference. However, when it's really up in your face and you need to check peaking, it is nice to have a higher end monitor, and Andoer do actually do some larger and higher resolution models, which I'll leave links to below as well. I really want to thank Andoer for sending me over this field monitor. In my use case, it works really well. It's not perfect, viewing angles could be definitely a lot better, but considering it's so versatile and can be moved around so freely and easily, it's not a huge concern. Anyway guys, that's it from me. I do recommend this field monitor, so those of you who have found one cheap or are looking to buy just a very affordable field monitor, recommend from Ryan Thomas, and it works perfectly fine with my GH4. Some people online say that there are some problems with their Canon units, but my GH4 accepts it absolutely fine. Also, if you're just looking at field monitors in general, I'd recommend you go and pick them up. They're incredibly useful and make you look a little bit more professional if you're out and shooting things for money. Anyway guys, that's it from me. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank HasTechGamer, Darren and Ross for supporting me on Patreon, and I also want to invite you over to the Discord and the social media. Links will be available in the description and also hopefully in the comment section if I can remember to pin the comment. Also, please do subscribe, like, dislike and comment to give me your feedback and tell me whether you want to see more videos like this one. My name has been Ryan Thomas with Tech again, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.